I'm gonna take this as no one really understands. They think that I'm doing this purposely. No, there's some other individuals doing things purposely. Now, those other things purposely would have to go into further details. But, like I said, no one's listening. So it would periodically wouldn't matter. And another question. What is it that you exactly want? Because there's a new variant of coronavirus. Then on the news, it's more news, which is those that supposedly been immune are now catching some of the symptoms. But you want to reopen, so be it. Stock market news, live updates, Dow S&P 500 set record, tech, and Bitcoin. Listen, as far as the numbers is concerned, and what you're saying, I beg to differ. I immediately beg to differ. Now, those that can muster up as much as they possibly can do that. And I would definitely suggest it. But will it work? Now they give it more about the stock market. It was like 3 different pages of stock market. Like I said, man, you're desperate. And I thought Little Hands was desperate, but it's worse than I thought because Little Hands slid in and slid out. And what's left is what's left. That's why I said I'm trying to get to this fourth stimulating stimulus. Biden would rather go ahead and try to reopen with people that's sick. That way, when they do get sick, they can't blame it on anything. That's diabolical. Just diabolical. I don't mind you taking away the NBA on certain networks, but when you do it, could you please inform the customer? But there you go with that Freedom of Speech Act, man. Implement it to a T, which is, you really don't know what's in it. But, safe. Can I do the same thing? Can I do the same thing? Hit the market and say, this is safe. Can I put this in? Can I? No, because you know what you'll come and ravish and do and all that other stuff. Man, it's bad. I wish to call it, what was a movie called Hoodlum, where he was running the numbers and he wanted control of the numbers and all of this. But then I said to myself, you control the numbers whether you want to or not. And then to say that, this and that, listen, man, you're still staying at home and you're still working from home. And even after you so-called open, you'll still be doing that same thing. Because that was the plan all along. I've seen your plan. You'd rather stick to it because you've invested so much into it. But like I said, man, you win some, you lose some. You can't win them all, man. And to attempt to try, even by, what they call the word, cheating. See, it's a lot of words that you use that I would like to reformat. Even down to that. Oh, man, but that takes time and effort. And no one seems to understand what this effort is for. They think that it's some type of, a sitcom. It can't be. It can be whatever you want it to be. But do you want it to be for the better or for the worse? Multiple people hurt in shooting. It's from Wiz 10. U.S.-Israel discuss Iran in first meeting of strategic groups. Listen, man, you can have as many groups as you possibly can gather up and muster. You're going to need more than groups. You're gonna need teamwork. And in order to get that teamwork, you're gonna have to adjust to the matters at hand because, like I said before, oh, and that's another thing too. The Moonchild Enterprises is now selling wholesale insurance policies for those that fear coronavirus. At, what was the price again? $5.99 a month. This is a small policy, about 60,000. Because like I said, I'm starting off small. Stock market news. More stock market news. Like I said, Trump did it when he first got in there, which was invest himself, which is the government, inside of the branches of stock markets because there's so many of that invested into. You know, your electorals and things of that nature. The numbers is doing somersaults, right? We're just doing somersaults. And to invest in it and show those numbers only lets me know out of the desperation you under. Reach out to me. You need that help. Look, man, it's available. But like I said, I don't want no, underhanded business going on. Man, it's just destructive. NFL agencies tracker. Listen, man, ESPN. Like I said, man, it's a lot going into these entities, man. I call them entities now because of the growth spurts that it's taken and it then took its growth spurts and invested it. You want to quadruple your money. Understandable. Who doesn't? And that's where it gets tricky. Fox News. Oh, and that's another thing too. As far as governors is concerned, they have a complete control over their states. So Biden, when you sat down and talked with the mayors and some governors, you was already in a mix of stirring up confusion. The governors need to just report to the president as to what it needs. I would say report to me, but Biden is what you call it on his political lawyer's front. And I said it's a lot. It's a lot, Biden. And like I said, you want to stir up confusion. It's already in the brains of the humans out here because of the pandemic. They're trying to keep up with you. But like I said, it's all for a specific situation. I don't believe none of it because of the simple fact is you waited and waited and you're still waiting and you're still going to continue waiting. So you might as well accept that part of the situation and do your best. Team US, oh, that's another thing too. Sports and athletes. I believe you are paid a higher amount. So, in the times of need, America is dependent on you. Now, will you take that subsidy? Or will you increase this value with your trades and, draft picks, number ones to 10, all of that? It's millions and millions of dollars accumulated through that. Now, are the people willing to take that suffering loss to absorb an athlete? It's like I said, man, in a pandemic, the definition states for, you know. So to avoid all of that, and then, persuade the people brain and, and get back to normal, do it all at once if it's so possible. Because you seem to tell people the impossible is possible in a pandemic. And like I said before, you want to stir up confusion, I'd rather not in a pandemic. The stimulating stimuluses will go to those at the top of Biden's list, and those at the last of his bottom list will get it last from state to state. Now, as far as that concerns, Joe, what's next on your agenda? I beg to differ. Dementia may be at risk for the COVID for infectious, but who knows where it came from? The coronavirus, that is. Biden signs big virus aid bill. Nah, that wasn't, like I said, it wasn't big enough for the situation. We got to go back in there with another couple trillion, man. A couple trillion, because the way you giving it out, some are getting more than less, and then the less aren't getting it until the end of the process, and then you got to do it over again. Trust me. THC, so they say, U.S. News, lingers in breast milk for weeks. Listen, man, you examining everything from breast milks to the Rudy to the Tootie, but you can't tell me what's in the stuff that you're giving out. And then two, where does coronavirus come from? Who invented it? Who named it? Who knows all about it? These are a lot of questions I had. And then another question. What if we didn't even find about this disease and it was just rapidly killing people? I'm not laughing at that. I'm laughing at the underhandedness surrounding a deadly virus and the desperation of humans. They show off their showcases of riches and fame. Have you seen some of the richest and the famous deceased from COVID-19? Can a vaccine help long-haul sufferers? It depends on what you call suffering. It's a mutatable disease. They said some didn't have symptoms until 3 months later. I mean, they had some early symptoms, but they disappeared for a while and came back harder than ever. But you say you got the end all, be all, one shot, and that's it. Good luck with that. Well, what is it, two shots, and that's it? Good luck with that, man. More Olympics, more, this from days ago, man. Texas Rangers stopped using hypnosis after Dallas Morning News. Listen, man, you use whatever you want at this point, because there's a systematical approach that America would like to infuse more of its previous situations on its, well, in their books, 3/5. That's why I need to get in there and change that constitutional books. Because legislatively, you say I have no right. As what you deem me to be. Yeah? I beg to differ. Fire crews responding to brush fire on San Pablo Road. I said, man, there's a lot of fires taking place. Is it expected? I can't say. But I do know what is expected. The illegitimacy of corruptancies. It's only human nature. I said you wanna come up, but you don't want to put as much work as it's going to take to get to that point, because you won't be here to reap all of the what you call it, the accolades from it. I see it in a different light. I see that after I'm done with these videos and things, there'll be someone watching it and trying to figure out a way to be better than it. Which, in my head, I think is already taking place. So I said I give it out free of charge, man. Biden administration ditches Trump plan to limit immigration. I said bring it as much extra things that you need to force people away from the disaster in their own backyard, because it's a disaster in everyone's backyard. Worldwide. That's what I said, we gotta come together. But you know what the old saying is, divided you what, and together you what. Good luck with trying to come back and togetherness and all. I would like to see it, but due to everything that took place, doubt it. It's best to save a dog first. Texas coach David Cooley. Listen, man, more coaches, more administrative, more agents.